So boys, today we're going to be reviewing Blackout for Call of Duty and whether or not this is a buy for you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm not a veteran COD player. I've played a lot of different CODs, but it's been a long time since I bought a Call of Duty on release. The last one I bought on release was Modern Warfare 3. I didn't even buy Black Ops 3 on release. I think I bought it that Christmas. So I've been kind of fading away from Call of Duty, but I've definitely been looking at it. I've been taking notes of it. And it piqued my interest this past year when they mentioned Blackout. A huge reason for that is I've always wanted to play a good, polished Battle Royale game that's in first person. Treyarch has delivered on that. It is a very polished game. The gunplay feels phenomenal. I like also the weapon diversity that we have here in Blackout. And there's also little things you can do throughout the map to obtain better gear. Like there's different loot crates you can get to that are holding certain tactical weapons that are like this yellow or gold outline. There's also zombies present on the map. Like you can just look around. If you see the mystery box light, they're present in that location. And they'll continue to move throughout the map as the circle closes. But if you go in there and you kill all those zombies, you're actually able to open the mystery box right afterward and get whatever good loot's in it. Now, I mention all that because I don't like a Battle Royale game that just throws you on the map and says, go ahead, kill each other. I like that there's things to go after on the map that are gonna reward you with better weapons and better armor. It's little things like this that make the game a lot more enjoyable because just camping in a building is boring. There's also vehicles on the map. Matter of fact, there's even a helicopter on the map. None of these come with weapons. It's just purely for moving across the map. What I like to do is honestly like to get on a four-wheeler or maybe even a helicopter and be looking for the mystery box. As soon as I see it, I get there. Because two things happen. Number one, somebody else is going to show up to also go for that mystery box, which is good. You get an engagement. And that's what I want whenever I play any Battle Royale game. I hate Battle Royale games that ever become stagnant. It just gets super boring and super stressful. So going for those mystery boxes for me was like the best way to run into engagements. And then of course killing the zombies grants you whatever armor or weapons. But let's talk about weapons. I've got a lot of favorites already. Swordfish is one of my favorite weapons. It's a burst fire rifle. I think it does some massive damage, but it's like the weapon for me in the mid-range. There's also a number of different ARs. I really like the Maddox. The KN57 is one I really like, especially if the circle does close up. And it's got like a lot of cover and buildings, things to keep it in short range. The ramparts, I've gotten a couple tactical ramparts. Again, those are the gold ramparts or the gold weapons that are fully loaded. I love the fully loaded ramparts. I think it does some great damage. And there's also a couple of snipers. They're not as common as you would think. So if you actually run across them, you want to pick them up. You've got the SDM, you've got the Outlaw, and you also got the Paladin. The Paladin is by far my favorite. There's also another one called the Koshka. Probably killing these names. The Koshka's not bad either. You definitely want to have a scope ready for all of these though. Which takes us to our next talking point. Weapon mods. This is a really cool aspect that is already present in multiplayer. But finding different stocks, different grips, applying it to your weapons, and being a casual. I definitely consider myself a casual. I like the fact that I'm able to go into my menu and see what all of these things do. But that ability to allow you to completely stock out a weapon is what's going to keep pushing you from house to house and looting more and more. The only downside of this is that when I find a weapon that I really like and I go to swap, it doesn't automatically break down the mod components. And there's actually not even a way for me to go ahead and break it down. I had to individually go into the weapon and drop those components. So hopefully Treyarch is going to put something in place to allow us to like hit a button and completely clear the weapon. And that way we can just pick up the next weapon and load it out again. Now the next thing I want to bring up are the consumables that you can take. There is a lot of different consumables that you can take and they last for a pretty good period of time. They've actually got a duration on it. And that's another thing, guys. Inventory shows not only what your mod components do, but also all of these different consumables. If you're wondering what they can do, simply go to your inventory, hover over it, and it'll tell you exactly what happens when you take it. But some really strong ones. Matter of fact, these can win you games. There's one that makes you completely silent for like 240 seconds or something. Another one called Awareness, which has saved my life countless times. Taking it allows you to hear other people's footsteps much louder. And there's a couple other ones, Paranoia, one that allows you also to see a bunch of different various loot as well as enemy vehicles and vehicles you can get on. Also, another one that allows you to use your med kits faster. So a lot of different consumables there, which adds another element to it. I like to actually take the silent consumable and pair it with the mobility one. This allows me to move like super fast and I'm super quiet. I hate running into people that are actually doing that though, because you cannot hear them for nothing. Which takes us to our audio. The audio in this game will aggravate you. Like between that and third personing behind a wall, those two are the most annoying things. We'll get to third personing here in just a moment. That's a Destiny thing. It's definitely going on now here in Blackout. But the audio has got to get better. And when I say the audio has got to get better, gunshots are super loud. Matter of fact, I cut my Astros up so that I can hear a little better. And I'm about deaf because I'm trying to hear footsteps as hard as I can. And gunshots are super loud. But where the issue is with me and the audio is that if there's a guy above you, you can't tell if he's above you or below you or next to you. The way the audio sounds, it just sounds too linear. What's another thing is I freak myself out a bunch because my own footsteps makes noise almost a half a second later. So sometimes it's no one around me. It's just me. So the audio engineers at Treyarch have definitely got to look into that. That will probably be the most aggravating aspect to this game because there's no other indicators to see where enemies are at except for visually seeing them. Which does take me to my next point. Visuals. I hear a lot of gunfights. I rarely see them. The reason why this is there's not a lot of light up in the bullets whenever you see them shooting at each other. Like you can kind of see it, but it's hard. Now this is important. I think they really need to make it light up because this is what's going to push people to get in more engagements. Because when you hear a bunch of gunshots, you can't even see where it's coming from. And on top of that, the audio is a little funky to begin with. So you're really not even sure what direction you're hearing it at. A lot of people just say, screw it, I'm sitting tight. I'm just gonna sit in this house. Again, the goal for Battle Royale games, in my opinion, is to push people out of those houses, push people out of those camp zones, and let them engage. Now, a lot of the matches toward the end game, especially if you're like in the final 5, a lot of people are sitting prone. And it's easy to sit prone and not be seen. Like super easy. With the grass, with the bushes. And they will sit there in the middle of the circle and you can damn near walk up on them and never even notice that they're there. Now, that could just be me. I have an untrained eye. The games that I come from, I mean, look at Halo. It's red and blue, man. Destiny has a crap ton of colors and everybody's like just pretty much sticking out like a sore thumb. So, I mean, seeing enemies in those games are super easy. So, you seeing a player that's prone might not be an issue for you. Me, I step on it every single time. Like, I literally walk up on them every single time. I'm like, oh my God, there's a guy there. So, visual-wise, I would like to see gunfights to light up the air a little more. See some dust kicking up. All the other little indicators that we've seen from other Battle Royale games that points to where the engagement is happening. Adding even better audio cues to that is only gonna add to those engagements. And the way with audio, guys, I mean, I'm not an audio engineer. I'm just thinking that what they should really do is focus on making gunshots that are the closest to you be the loudest. There's a lot of gunshots that happen around you and they just all sound super loud. So, is this a game you should buy? I say if you're a Black Ops veteran or a Call of Duty veteran, you've enjoyed every COD that's come out specifically because of the multiplayer, I think you'll enjoy it. I think if you're like me and you come from games that have a slightly longer time to kill, you'll also enjoy it. And if you're like me and you're looking for a refined, polished Battle Royale game that's also a first-person shooter, then Blackout would satisfy those. But if you're purely buying this game because you think Blackout is the game type for you, but you're not even a Battle Royale fan to begin with, I think that's going to be a tough sell. I've seen a lot of people do that. They don't like Battle Royale games to begin with, but they think Blackout is just going to be something different. And I'm not saying it doesn't differ in any kind of way. It definitely has some aspects that are different than other Battle Royale games. But at the end of the day, it's still a Battle Royale game. There's still going to be a guy at the very end of the match that's sitting prone behind a bush who hasn't gotten a kill the entire game, but he kills you and gets the win. That's just the reality of a lot of Battle Royale games. So I would not buy this game for Blackout if that's what you're specifically buying it for. If you aren't a fan of Battle Royale games and everything that revolves around them. So boys, that is my review for Blackout so far, as well as Black Ops. I'll probably continue to do some more stuff for this game, depending on how many people here actually want to see some stuff. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.